Hi, I'm Max Colton, and I am playing Richard II. So Richard starts out this play at a pretty high point. He is the King of England. A lot of things are humorous to him that are serious to other characters. And then when we get to the end, very few things are humorous to Richard at this point. Having people around him is very important for him, so he knows who he is. And when he doesn't have those people around him to reaffirm who he is, he just crumbles.
Richard does have a lot of this power, and his responsibilities come in and out as he bounces between I'm ordained to be king and I'm not fit for this position at all.
While being a play that is critical of kingship and the abuse of power, it's this double-edged sword of being a deeply tragic and beautiful queer love story that shows the resilience of queer love. The homophobia that is already rampant in England at this time is used as a way of undermining Richard's kingship. He was, in so many ways, a terrible king politically, but then at the same time, he's a tragic character socially and emotionally because he never really had an opportunity to be the person that he wanted to be.
One of the things that bothers me nowadays is that so many people believe if you did something wrong in the past, you can't be forgiven for it. And one of the things that happens to Richard, he learns how to be a human being. The thing about hitting rock bottom is that you know where the ground is. And that's what Richard discovers.
I'm Adrienne Sophia Curry, and I'm playing the Duke of O'Merle. O'Merle gets a fun arc in this production. Fun for me as an actor, extremely unfun for him as a character. When I've been thinking about his character, I keep going back to describing him as a liquid. This person who's able to kind of move between worlds very fluidly and be what he needs to be to different people, to his family. But at the end of the day, he has to make a choice and live with the choice that he ends up making.
My name is Tom Sarp, and I'm playing the Duke of York. York, at the very beginning, he's very conflicted, and he's trying to reason, it seems, with everyone, trying to reason with Richard, and then there's a point where he has to deal with Bolingbroke.
I'm Cameron Nichol. I'm playing Bolingbroke. At the beginning of the play, Bolingbroke is really everything that Richard is not. He's the flower of chivalry. He's got the temperament to be, royalty, to be king, and he has the experience, the military prowess, everything that Richard doesn't have.
I'm Jack Sensky, and I play the Earl of Northumberland. I think he's a character that the audience is really going to relate to. And then at the end of the play, I think the audience is going to have to look in the mirror and go, oh my God, what part of myself could possibly believe that this guy was correct about anything ever? Oh no, am I a bad person?
What makes Richard II special? It's not done as often, I've learned. And I'm still so new to this because this is my first Shakespeare, but this is not one of your go-to Shakespeares.
I've set the concept for the show in the latter days of the Romanov Tsars because I feel that there was a lot of connections between Tsar Nicholas II and Richard II. It's not just a beautiful aesthetic, but it's also profoundly reinforcing concept for our actors and for the audience. I think they'll make a lot of connections from the moment they sit down and see the set and visuals that we've created.
I've really loved learning the history behind the story. I wasn't familiar, so that's really cool to me. And the relationships, it's not just the things that are said on the page, but it's the things that happen in the scene around it that I think make the people of it really real.
One of my first lines, let not my cold words here accuse my zeal. Like not being sure how your words and how you express yourself are going to be taken, and feeling like you have to preface what you say by, just because I might seem like I'm keeping a calm exterior does not mean that I'm not passionate about what I'm saying. It doesn't mean there's not an inner turmoil.
The way that we are all collaborating, it's tragic for almost everyone. It's not just about one person. Like, the tragedy of the show impacts a lot more people than you think.
Like many Shakespeare plays, the ones that kind of made the biggest splash in their time, if you come back to and look in the modern day, you can relate to so many of the themes of whether you're looking at the commons, the nobility, or royalty. All of these different people have struggles that just echo across history to the modern day.
you know, as timeless as all of his stories are, I think this one is very important for this day and age because it's about a lot of corruption, political turmoil and stuff. Not that any of us would know anything about that.
Why should you come to see Richard II? To see me crash land a plane, obviously.
Well, for one, it's going to be just a fantastic show. This cast is incredibly talented. They're putting in a lot of work. And you will probably leave feeling differently about this part of history or about even yourself than you did when you went in.
And I also love that the people in it and working on it are delightfully nerdy and passionate enough to put on something that people might not have heard of.
I think everybody should always see Shakespeare whenever they can. I think it is a great way to connect to the many generations of people who have spoken these words and who have heard these words and have applied them to their own lives and their own time periods.
It questions our sense of right and wrong and justice and injustice and oppression, but it also doesn't tell us what to believe at all. It doesn't guide you at all. You have to make that conclusion for yourself.
Because it's got some of the most talented people I've worked with in a really long time in it. The director has put his all into this, and I think he really deserves to, like everybody else, have a lot of success in this production.
Why should you come see Richard II? Because A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms just ended, and we need our medieval drama fix, and this is it.
Raising up and putting to the forefront queer identities and their stories and providing hope for the community.
I think that it is really rare to see a piece of art about queer people actually existing. And I think, you know, doing this in the glitter box, doing this in a queer space, it makes it special. Wear a cute outfit, absolutely. You should. I know people have cute outfits that they can't wear to work. So wear them to Richard.
How many different ways it's been done, and it's fresh every time. With Shakespeare, it's fresh every single time.
Why are you deliberating? Buy tickets. What are you doing?